So I had an interesting debate. How many lawyers in the room today? I love lawyers, by the way. They are a fun group of people. Anybody in here? Good, then nobody will be insulted by what I'm about to say. That's fantastic. So I had an interesting debate with the lawyer at Alcatel-Lucent. I took out my BlackBerry, don't judge, I still have one. And I said, let me ask you a question. Who owns the contents of this device? She looked at me very matter-of-factly. She said, that's easy, Alcatel-Lucent does. I said, really? I said, what if I got the contacts on the device by, engaging with people that I meet at conferences? Well, yeah, but Alcatel-Lucent paid for you to go to that conference. I said, but really? Because what if I went to dinner with somebody on my time and paid for my own meal and met somebody? Do I own that contact or do you? She goes, well, we bought the phone for you, so that would be our contact. I said, really? Because I bought this phone. I purchased it myself and I brought it in. So is that my contact or is that your contact? Who owns it? At this point, her head exploded, and she didn't want to talk to me anymore because she thought I was just being argumentative. And she's like, I'm never talking to a marketer again. And my point is, what mobility is doing at its most fundamental level is it is redefining the relationship between the employee and their company. There is a whole new set of questions that I've just tipped the iceberg on, right? Who owns what? Do you have a right to monitor me? When can you monitor me? When can't you? When can you wipe my device? When can't you? If you tell me you have a bring your own device policy and you let me bring in my device, but I have to pass a credit check to get a carrier to provide enough bandwidth that meets the needs for the workplace, and let's just say I happen to fail that credit check, have you now infringed upon my privacy as your employee by knowing that I don't have good credit? Is your mind about to explode? Lawyers are about to get really rich, as if they're not already. This is a space ripe with opportunity. Adding to the problem of mobility, who owns what, where's the perimeter, who gets what info, is this notion of the boundaries of the enterprise are now fully permeable, yes? Everybody's virtual. Well, that's great, but it also means that now a new form of harassment, textual harassment, has entered the fray, where about 23% of harassment now occurs via technology, be it mobile devices or others. I'll give you one case to consider. Espinosa versus Orange County, California. A juvenile corrections officer who had a deformed left hand, very self-conscious about it, used to keep his hand in his pocket at all times. His coworkers were very thoughtful in this, and obviously very understanding of someone's human deformity, began to call him very affectionately by the name the Claw. Began to mimic him and began to encourage people, if you can get him to show the claw, we'll give you $100. Started a blog whereby they could opine about this man's deformity and his claw. Well, Espinosa, HR at the, Orange County Corrections Facility came down and said, listen, this is inappropriate in the workplace. You guys need to stop. Cease and desist. It didn't cease and desist. Espinosa ends up suing his former employer, ends up winning an over $800,000 settlement because the judge ordered that HR knew who those people were, and even though it happened outside of work hours or outside of a work perimeter, really it's work-related. So all this technology, the mobility, think of it from an employee-employer perspective. When does one stop? When does one start?